Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's well. So, BKFC review. Oh, slept in this morning. Usually up and early in the gym. Well, I slept in. Anyway, the BKFC review. I'm going to start off with top of the bill. James DeGale versus that Australian kid. Now, that was one of the worst Bareknuckle fights I have ever seen in my life. Yeah, it was really bad. James DeGale couldn't find the distance. He couldn't get he wasn't throwing enough punches. I think he was worried about the clinch. You know, he was worried about the clinch straight away because it was the only time he was getting hurt and getting bust up. So you could clearly see that he was worried. So he just kept grabbing. He kept trying to throw a punch, one big punch and grabbing. But it was the worst bare-knuckle fight I've ever seen in my life. It was terrible. It ruined the whole show because the full Manchester card was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Corin versus Danny Moyer. Corin's a little beast. How he's making that weight is beyond me. You know, light heavyweight. You know, I don't know how he's making that weight, but he's a force to be reckoned with in that weight, and I think he can. I think he can go to the very top. You know, I think he needs to step off the centre line a little bit, start moving left to right, and stop getting it as much. But I think he can make some real noise in that division. He's a scary individual at light heavyweight. Fair play to Danny Moyer. Danny Moyer comes and he comes to fight. Just got caught. Split his wig. Got caught and couldn't carry on. What was the other fight? The other fight that stood out to me. I thought Joe Lister and Sean Weir was a fight of the night. That fight was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Joe Lister got beat, but his stock, Joe Lister's name grows from here. I think his stock goes up. You know, I think when you lose at that fashion where he's both getting dropped, it's a tough fight. It can go either way. You know, I don't see how that puts a stain on your career. I don't, especially in bare knuckle. I think if anything, your stock goes up because people see that you're a warrior. People see that you're willing to climb off the canvas and you're willing to swing. You're willing to bite down on your gum shield and you're willing to swing. You're willing to get at it. You're willing to go at it. You know, so I think, you know, two young guys like Sean Weir and Joe Lister who've got a massive, you know, they've got a massive journey in bare knuckle. I think these two are going to go far. You know, I met Sean Weir in Turkey about last year, and what a nice kid, lovely kid. I think he'll do well. I'd like to see the rematch if I'm being honest. Not just yet though. You know, if they both get another like 2 wins under the belt, then I don't see why they can't meet again. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to see that rematch. Controversial stoppage. Did Joe get on his feet? I think he did. I think he was up. I think he could have carried on. I would have liked to see Joe carry on. But what a fight. What a fight. Garside stops, young Garside stops Chip Chase, Jono Chip Chase, which that's a really good win for him. That's a really good win for young Garside. I thought Jono would have won, but yeah, Jono got caught. He got put on his back, got stopped. But nevertheless, Jono will be back. Jono's a warrior. Jono's got many fights under his belt, and you know he'll be back on with the next. Well, congratulations to Garside doing that. I think it was not me personally knockout of the night. You know, it was that one shot kill, wasn't it? And they're always impressive, Anna. They're always impressive. It was an impressive shot, really good. Aaron Chalmers versus Jack Finch. Aaron Chalmers is a real deal. Aaron Chalmers is a good fighter. Aaron Chalmers can fight. He's proved his worth. You know, he's boxed. He's done MMA, and now he's doing bare knuckle. You know, I'd like to see him get tested. I think it's a bit early for him calling the Mike Perry out, but I think Terry Brazier could be a good fight for him. Terry Brazier is a tough twat, hard bastard. I think that's a good fight for Aaron Chalmers, Terry Brazier. I'd like to see that fight. Again, Jack Finch struggling with the distance money, struggling with the you can see these boxes. I mean, I had the same problem when I fought Stanley, my first bare knuckle fight, my only ever bare knuckle fight. When I come out and I tried to, get used to the distance and sticking my jab out, I found that I was just a little bit off. My distance wasn't quite right. I couldn't get used to it. So that's why I just started jumping in with the left hook and trying to follow up with the right hand. I just thought, fuck it, as long as I take my feet in a bit closer, I should be all right. So as I was trying to, that's what Jack Finch was trying to do. He was trying to fight on the back foot, because he's got 30 amateur fights. So he was trying to move left and right and counter punch. But when you haven't got the time and the distance for the bare knuckle, it's hard to do so. I found it hard as well. I found it really hard. My plan for the bare knuckle fight was to move, not get it, and hit while they're hitting you. But I found it hard. My distance and my time, and my the accuracy wasn't quite there. I had to really ease myself into it. That's what James DeGale should have done. That lad James DeGale fought was absolutely garbage. I think if James DeGale would have just found his range, just stepped in a little tiny bit with his feet, you could hear Ben Bonner shouting, "Fight, box," you know what I mean? And I don't know why Ben Bonner wasn't. I don't know why he wasn't listening to Ben. But that other lad should have been disqualified. It was the worst bare knuckle fight I've ever seen in my life. Terrible. But other than that, what a night of bare knuckle. Fantastic night of bare knuckle fighting. Absolutely loved every second of it. I thought it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Take care. God bless, guys.